It should not take an audit. It should not take someone's death to get people to finally pay attention to what we're doing to these foster kids.
Well, the fallout from a scathing audit highlighting concerns about the state's foster care system continues as lawmakers are now drafting legislation to address some of these problems.
That's right, but it's not clear if the support will be there in Annapolis to get that proposal across the finish line. An audit revealing cracks in Maryland's foster care system, followed by a tragic death of a teen in a hotel under the state supervision, continues to spark frustration from lawmakers on both sides of the political aisle.
These kids are largely left behind.
The audit obviously identified a number of items that were of concern, and so it was alarming.
As well as advocates. Did the findings from that audit surprise you given your work and what you've done over the last decade working in this arena?
No. Unfortunately, it's a reality of the work that we do every day.
Delegate Mike Griffith, a Republican who spent most of his teen years in foster care, is working on a plan called the Never Again Act of 2026, or Kanaiyah's Law.
It should not take an audit. It should not take someone's death to get people to finally pay attention to what we're doing to these foster kids.
The problems identified in this audit are not new for the state's foster care system. Joining me now to talk about this proposal is Delegate Mike Griffith, something he noted while on Fox 45 News In Depth. Why do you think this year will be different?
Well, for a couple of reasons. I think this tragedy cuts across all parties, all demographics. People are focused on it. Folks like you, Mackenzie, are bringing this to the forefront, banging the drum, making sure it's not being left behind.
16-year-old Kanaiyah Ward struggled with her own mental health. Her family turned to the state for help. The Department of Human Services placed her in a hotel in Baltimore City, contracted with Fenwick Behavioral Services to provide a one-to-one aid, but on September 22nd,
I'm in the Marriott Hotel.
Ward was found dead in the hotel.
For a fatal overdose of a juvenile.
The medical examiner's office ruled her death a suicide, stemming from an active ingredient in Benadryl. The autopsy report notes an empty medication bottle was found, along with a detailed note.
So they're just there supposedly to supervise them at all times to make sure that while they're in the hotel placement, they are in a safe environment.
Tammy Johnson is a court-appointed special advocate, or CASA, case supervisor in Cecil County. She's worked with foster care kids for a decade and says one-to-one aides can provide support for the kids. But she says the system is strained and there's a lack of providers as well as programs. And that's how Johnson says kids like Ward can end up in hotels.
She shouldn't have been in a hotel. Frankly, with that depth of her mental health, she potentially should have been in a hospital setting, or in a therapeutic group home. It's very unfortunate, and it just seems like there wasn't proper supervision being provided to her by the service provider, potentially, that was there to supposedly be watching her.
Griffith's legislative proposal targets hotel stays, prohibiting foster care children from being placed in hotels for more than a week without a review and authorization from the Secretary of the Department of Human Services. It would also require training, licensing, and background checks for one-on-one providers. While Johnson argues tackling the problems within the system through legislation is key,
we need to have better legislation that protects these kids specifically. In Kanaiyah's story specifically, she was brought into care because her family had outsourced every resource they possibly could trying to get her help for mental health. And that is something that we see a lot of, families who really need the state to step in and help them to get their child the care that they need.
State Senator Shelley Hettleman, a Democrat and chair of the Joint Audit and Evaluation Committee, is open to other options.
So I haven't seen any bills. I've heard some discussion. And we'll have to wait. I certainly want to give the Secretary and the administration a chance to address the issues.
At the end of the month, Hettleman's committee will drag DHS in to answer for the findings in the audit. Why is it going to take almost a month and a half to have this meeting to talk about this when this audit came out September 17th?
There are a lot of us. There are a lot of agency folks that we need to line up. It purely has to do with scheduling. Obviously, when you're dealing with children, it is far more important than when you're dealing with other issues. And so we're doing it absolutely the fastest that we can do it to get all the right people in the room to make sure that they have done some internal looking, give them a little time to do that, and to be able to come fully prepared to answer our questions.
Year after year, audits like this one have revealed some of the same problems within the foster care system. Griffith says whether it's his bill or not, he believes it's time for the state of Maryland to make changes and ensure children in the state's care are safe.
These issues have been around for a long time. People have known about them. We have a $67 billion state government budget, and we tackle lots of issues all the time. I think this is simply a matter of this not being a priority for a variety of reasons.
This week on Fox 45 News In Depth, I took a close look at the concerns surrounding Maryland's foster care system. If you missed last night's show, you can watch Sunday morning at 10:30 on Fox 45. It's also available to stream right now on our YouTube page. Just search Fox Baltimore.
I'm Kai Jackson. Thank you for watching. Here's another video to watch. Also, please take a moment to subscribe to our channel.